Hi there, Bill Hitchcock. Another show I didn't expect to do. Get up Monday morning, boom, I get something in my email box, and it's from the North Carolina Fisheries Association. Now, I know he was one of them fellers. I'm on everybody's email list, trying to be at least, Wildlife Resources Commission, the North Carolina Division of Marine Fisheries, blah, 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 on down the road. Well, I get this email this morning from the North Carolina Fisheries Association. As you may recall, on several occasions, I've said, you've got a friend in commercial fishermen and you don't realize it. Well, take a look what they sent me. Let's get rid of this. I'm just going to dive into this as fast as possible. It's about trout management and flounder management. And by the way, I got to have my laptop here to look at because my printer don't work. I can't print up nothing right now. Anyway, look at this. It says first North Carolina Southern Flounder Fisheries Management Plan was adopted in 2005, and 20 years later we are looking at a harvest moratorium for recreational anglers. This is all about recreational. This had nothing to do with commercial fishermen, although it's coming from the North Carolina Fisheries Association, and this is from Thomas Newman. He is, it says fisheries liaison for the North Carolina Fisheries Association. I didn't know they had one of them lazy guys on whatever. Fisheries liaison, Thomas Newman. So, hi, didn't know you existed, but cool. So anyway, goes on to say speckled trout's management began 4 years after flounder management when interim measures were adopted in 2009. As we are now looking at more reduced bag limits and another closed harvest season, we thought it would be a good idea to look at the management timeline and compare notes. Again, this is from the North Carolina Fisheries Association, the second oldest commercial fishing trade group in America, just a couple of months behind the trade group out of Florida. And it's all about recreational fishing, recreational speckled trout management history. 2009, 14-inch minimum size, 10 fish. 2010, 14-inch minimum, 6 fish. A year after that, 14-inch minimum, 4 fish. In 2024, DMF recommends 14 to 20-inch slot with 1/26, a January-February harvest closure, and eliminate captain crew bag limits in for hire recreational. Now, let's jump to just kind of, I put those facts up on the screen, but just kind of remember that. Let's jump to flounder, recreational southern flounder management history. 2005, there's a 14-inch minimum with 8 fish bag limit. 2011, 15-inch minimum size, 6 fish bag limit. 2019, 15-inch minimum size, 4 fish bag limit. Harvest closure, September 4 through December 31st. That happens to be the prime flounder time. But hey, 2020, 15-inch minimum size limit, 4 fish bag limit, August 16 through September 30 harvest season. Oh, God. And then 2021, 15-inch minimum size limit, 4 fish bag limit, September 1 through 40. You get a 2 week. God, it's sad. That's why I'm laughing, because it's sad. 2022, 15-inch minimum size, 1 fish, September 1 through 30. 23, 15-inch minimum, 1 fish, September 15 through 29, open harvest. 2024, zip, zilch, zero, nothing. And they go on to say it does not take a rocket scientist to see a lot of similar patterns we're looking at these timelines side by side. Look how many years it took to start seeing closed harvest season. Just a few years. Do you see a trend with flounder and speckled trout management? Now let's look at 2 graphs. Now look at these. Although they don't say, I'm assuming this is from the Division of Marine Fisheries because looking at it, it runs parallel. This first graph is trout. Now remember, by the way, I've been harping on this because it just stuns me. I think it's great. Over a 33-year history, this information I'm about to say, it comes from the Division of Marine Fisheries. You can look it up at their division website. 33 years, past 33 years, the average release rate in speckled trout is 78%. Mind-blowing. And if you look back and the reason why it's mind-blowing is the decade of the 90s. Only 1 year were there more releases than keep. It starts in about 2000. I've been talking about this. The attitude changes, and all of a sudden you're getting these releases, more releases. By the 2010, 2011, the release rate of speckled trout in the recreational community in the 90 percentile. I keep saying it blows my mind because it blows my mind. That's phenomenal. So look at this chart. And by the way, look at 2000 backwards. You see the catch, release, keep, release, kind of goes back and forth. And all of a sudden, boom, that red line, that is your releases. Let's go on down to recreational flounder numbers, harvested and released. It's about the same time period, year 2000, boom. All of a sudden, release to keep. Release in speckled trout to keep. It's phenomenal. Talk about management measures. It says reduce bag limits and closed seasons, increase discards add to removals. Increase removals negate the overall harvest reduction. And when the next stock update is completed, no reduction in removals is achieved and we take another harvest reduction. Is harvest the problem? Well, guys, I mean, just off of those graphs alone, I can't really call the recreational side harvesting when you get 70–80% released. Why do we keep letting them spoon feed us a reduced bag limit? Again, this is from the North Carolina Fisheries Association, the commercial fishing group, and they're talking nothing but recreational. Increase size limit and close season when we know it does not work to reduce removals. Take a good look at these timelines and graphs again. Compare years. While there's ample reason to question these stock assessments, if you believe DMF's data, we don't, that's the Fisheries Association talking, harvest is not the issue. If you do not want to see speckled trout management go down the same track that flounder management is on, we have to manage all removals, harvest, and discards. By the way, that's something that I heard in the public comment time from the Marine Fisheries Commission quarterly meeting on Wednesday and Thursday about flounder is your example of what's going to happen to speckled trout. So, thank you, North Carolina Fisheries Association, for sending me this information. Again, I can't stress, guys, instead of making them your enemy, why don't you speak with the commercial fishing groups, or group, I can't think of too many other ones. They're your friend if you kind of realize it, and this is kind of an indication that they are looking after your interests. Of course they're looking after their interests. Don't get me wrong. What do you think lobbyists do? The CCA lobbyists, they're looking after their interests. North Carolina Fisheries Association, lobbyists, they're looking after their best interests. North Carolina Wildlife Federation, lobbyists, they're looking after their best interests. That's what lobbying groups do. And again, we did an entire show on that, so look in the little library and something about lobbyists. We go into great detail about that. Anyway, Bill Hitchcock, that's it. Shoot me an email, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com. Emails always seem to be well written and well thought out of. If I'm wrong about something, let me know. Send me the documentation. Don't just blurt out stuff. That's what happens at YouTube. People just go bleh, and with no, they don't substantiate what they're saying, just numbers out of the air. And then my favorite part, by the way, is when they dispute the actual data I'm reading from the actual source. And then they throw out some other data. But anyway, enough of all that. Till next time. Oh, before we go, we've got a show on flounder identification. You don't want to miss that. The 3 different types of flounders we have in North Carolina. Also, we're doing a program on the recreational fishermen. How many licenses are there? What type of licenses are there? And who are these people? So you don't want to miss out. Again, Bill Hitchcock. Till next time. Bye.